It's Thursday morning, you know how we do it, art display, and we have quite an interesting guest this morning. We have Nana Sonoiki. Now, she's an art curator, the founder and proprietor of Pantheon Limited. Now, she is a woman of many things. I know when you hear art curator, trying to understand what exactly is an art curator. Well, she's here to answer that and much more. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Good morning.
We're going to start straight with that. What do you mean by curating or curation of art?
Thank you. Curating art is actually a whole process. It's not just an act. It starts from conceiving the idea for a project or an art exhibition. It goes from selecting the works, photographing the works, framing the works, installation of the works, or mounting up the exhibition. If it's a project and it has to go offshore, then it entails you packaging, handling and moving works from one continent to the other. Yeah, so it's a whole process that can't be stopped, and it's continuous. For a curator, especially if you also have a gallery, you go from one project to another project, from one exhibition to another exhibition. So it's a continuous project.
Now, so are we saying that a curator is needed when there is an exhibition? Without an exhibition, do I still need a curator?
Absolutely. A curator's work is not limited to an exhibition.
Okay.
You can curate the works in your private home.
Oh, okay.
You can decide that this month I want to have so theme, and then you create that theme in your house. So you can also be your own curator. You don't have to hire a curator. But if you're very busy and you think, okay, I like what this person does, you could bring in the curator into your home.
I want a professional touch, so I wouldn't curate myself.
Yeah, so you could ask a curator to come in, look at your collection and say, okay, for this period, for a certain number of months, we're going to have this set of works
Oh,
and then after that, you take it down. So your guests come into your house and they're like, oh, the last time I didn't see this. I saw something else. Wonderful. So you're curating your private collection.
I like that. Okay, now let's see a shot of this set. Let's do a little bit of curating now, right?
Okay.
Okay. So we had to put some of the artworks. We have collections. These, of course, are artworks from different artists that have come on the show, and we have this. Now, there's something you mentioned. Talking about art and space. You said art needs space. Why so?
Art loves to breathe. They're just like humans. They love to breathe. And you need to be able to communicate with your art.
Okay.
So if you put an artwork in a certain place, now let's take, for example, what we have up there.
What we have up there, okay.
Imagine if you have another big artwork on the other side. It becomes a bit clumsy and too busy to the eye. And then you want to leave this. And every time you come, let me say this. Every time you see an artwork, you must see something different. You must. That's a good art.
Every single time
you see it, you would definitely see something different.
Okay.
So you come in, you stay here, and you're looking, okay, this is the lantern. Let's look at it. And then the next time you come, it's probably the color. But when you have so many, so close to each other, it becomes clumsy. You can't have a communication with your art.
Wow.
And you should be able to communicate with your art.
Okay.
So that's why I say, and we say as curators, that art needs space.
Art needs space. Okay, I want you to look at the screen so that we can see this whole set. And let's try and curate our set a little bit, yeah? What would you add, what would you remove from our set as you can see it now? Let's look at it this way as you're seeing now. What would you do if you were to curate? What would you do?
I'll probably take the plant off. I'll probably take the plant off. Have the books segmented onto one section, and I could have all the art pieces in a particular, one
so you don't
of
like
the
all
cabinets.
The books in different places. You would rather have all the books in one place.
I'd rather have them together. If you have philosophy books, I have my philosophy books. If you have your art books, you have your art books on one section. If you have your medical books, you have your medical books on one section.
Oh.
Now, this is what it does to you.
Okay.
If you want to go to your philosophy book, you're not busy looking, scouting around and sweating to get a book. You already know where your philosophy books are.
But someone might say that it is not a library. I'm putting this for aesthetic purposes.
Yes.
What if, is that because...
I like when my art are just on their own and they're breathing. Now, when you have, let me say this to you. When you're having a group exhibition and you have 4 or 5 different artists, you don't mumbo-jumbo every work together.
Okay.
You
so
probably
you
segment. So you get to this point, this is this artist's works here. This is this artist's works here. It's not a law that you couldn't mix them together, but it's just that it's pleasing to the eye and it's easier to communicate with those works.
Okay, wonderful. How about a case of where we see wooden display?
This is absolutely fine. This
is
African. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It's
I
nice.
Leave clap for yourself. This is nice,
It's
beautiful.
nice,
All right,
yes.
and then okay. Well, so if it's a chair as it is now and all of that, we have this thing with Wake Up Nigeria. We have different kinds of throw pillows as it were. Would you change anything?
I probably won't change. Maybe what I will do is turn the straw pillow to a beaded one. Then it becomes a bit more arty. It's not just the flowers, but there are beads, there are some ornaments on it.
All right,
That's
now,
what
wonderful,
I'll probably do.
wonderful. Now, there was something you mentioned much earlier also, transportation or transporting art. It's an art to transport art.
It's absolutely an art.
What does one need to put in mind when you are transporting art?
In a layman's terms, it's called art logistics, moving art. But what you must consider is the nature of the artwork, the type of the artwork you're dealing with.
Okay.
The way you're going to wrap or pack this art is totally different from the way you're going to pack a canvas. So you have to put the delicate nature of each art into being, and then you pack accordingly. Some works just need a bubble wrap and probably sliding into a carton.
Okay.
Some needs a proper crating, where you have a wooden crate made for them. If they're glass. So the nature of the art now tells you how to pack the art and transport the art.
Okay, let's talk about some of the most memorable art transfers or art logistic movement that you've done that come to mind now.
Having worked with an auction house for 13 and a half years before I went to set up at Pantheon, I had to transport art every minute of the day. But the most memorable for me was transporting Kwejo Alatishe's works to the Venice Biennale last year. It was really a massive project for me.
Where did you transfer? From where to where?
The works were moved from Kwejo's studio in Okwaja to Venice in Italy.
In Italy?
Yes.
Wonderful. I would also, you made mention of an art auction or a bid or something. That would be something to be
Absolutely.
in, and then bid for some artworks that way. But hey, you do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
For
Thank you very
giving
much.
us an expose. So how would you rate our art setup now? Over 10, what would you rate it?
I'll give you 8 over 10.
8 over 10?
Yes.
We're doing well.
But don't worry, maybe we'll do something again and revamp. And you can have different studio setup for different things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Giving us some insight into what we can do better. Thank you very much.